Most people waste their 20s. They do it in the name of fun, but by 30, they realize everything that I'm about to tell you. I spent the last few years of my life pushing myself to the absolute max. Whether it was maintaining straight A's in college or growing my businesses or building physical discipline, what shocked me is how simple it really is. Not easy, but simple. That is where you win. In this video, I'm gonna break down the brutally honest roadmap of how to get ahead of everyone who's around you. The first thing that I need to get across to you is that progress only matters if it's aligned with your ultimate vision. You have to reinforce what you want through the actions that you display. If you say that you wanna make something of yourself, but every single Saturday morning you're sleeping in, eating hot Cheetos, scrolling on TikTok, then you're a liar. You're lying to yourself and betraying your goals. And so the first thing that you need to ask yourself is, what do I actually want? Because your 20s and hell, your life is gonna be based off of that singular answer. If you're the type of person who lives for the next experience, then you're not being true to yourself if all you do is work. And vice versa, if you say that you have big goals and then you don't do anything to achieve those goals, you're lying to yourself. So you have to get clear on exactly what you want out of life. Otherwise, it'll never give it to you. The universe will never grant you something that you don't even know that you want. And if you are the kind of person who has big goals for yourself, then the next thing that you have to get comfortable with is being left out. They will laugh, you will cringe, and they will count you out. So what? Your goals are more important than those who choose to doubt you. When you get started with anything, you're gonna feel like a loser. You're gonna feel like you're a fish out of water. You're gonna feel like you have no clue what the hell you're even doing. But that's the point. You can't seek growth and avoid challenge. That's not how it works. Those two things go hand in hand. You have to seek out the hardships in life if you ever wanna get to the place that you say that you wanna get to. And so yeah, your friends are gonna start to ask you why you're not going out anymore. They're gonna start to try to shame you for thinking, oh, you must be better than us. But the truth is, you can't listen to them. You cannot listen to the people who choose to be against you. The second that you do is the second that you lose. Because then your actions start to become about conforming to what they want. Oh, I guess I can go out for an hour. It won't hurt. I guess I can, drink with the guys this last time. It won't hurt. You start to make excuses for yourself because you're scared of being rejected. But my friends, rejection is just part of the process. It's part of the cost that you have to pay if in 10 years you want to get to where you want to go. I feel rejected every single day. Real. And when I first started out on my journey, I had to learn to accept that. I felt the biggest fear of missing out inside of me every time I would look on Snapchat my freshman year and realize that all of my friends are having so much fun without me. And I'm sitting here struggling to try to make this thing work. Any goal that you set for yourself that's worthwhile will push you to the absolute max. It will put to the test the bounds of your resilience. And a lot of you are in that stage right now where you're kind of teeter-tottering on the edge of going all in, but at the same time, you don't want to lose what you've built with your friends or your community or the people around you, the experience that you had. You don't want to lose that. But growing pains are painful for a reason. You're shedding the bone of who you once were so that you can embrace the light of who you're becoming. Uncertainty will haunt you. Sleep will escape you. Friends will desert you. That's not an error. It's a sign you're on the right path. Never relent. I feel like people are afraid of being uncertain. They're so afraid of not knowing what to do that they don't try at all. And I think the biggest lesson that I've learned is that you have to invite uncertainty, because that's the only way to grow. You have to accept the fact that you don't know what you're doing and choose to move forward anyway. Because if you wait to feel ready, you'll wait forever. People miscalculate the level of work it truly takes to be great at anything. And I am by no way claiming that I'm great at anything, in fact, but I do study great people. And the one thing that they had in common was unwavering relentlessness. They were so obsessed with the outcome and the vision that they had in their head that nothing else mattered. So yeah, when you work hard towards something, if you actually want to get ahead of 99% of people, you're gonna have to work harder than 99% of people. And people think that you can just trick and hack your way through life, and the truth is you can't. Because at the end of the day, everyone has the same access to technology, barring certain countries, of course. Everyone has the same access to technology. They have the same access to the internet. They have the same access to the resources that make the world flat. And so at the end of the day, the only constant thing between ultra hyper successful people is their ability to work extremely fucking hard on the goal that they have in front of them. And that's one thing that a lot of people try to discount. It's like, yeah, it's tough for a reason, and this is why no one else is going to follow in your footsteps. Hard work is the moat that you build yourself. It's the thing that keeps out the competitors. It's the thing that separates you from everyone who you don't want to be like. The thing is about that quote is I love to preach that, you need 8 hours of sleep. You need to prioritize your well-being, your sleep, and everything. But dude, there are so many seasons of life where you're just not going to be able to optimize everything. What's optimal is not always realistic. Even now, like I'm coming off of maybe like 4 hours of sleep. I'm very, very tired, but I believe that the mission is worth the sacrifice. And that's what you have to believe too, that the mission is worth the sacrifice of time, the sacrifice of resources, the sacrifice of relationships. You have to be so head first into your commitments that nothing else matters. You're not judged on how you feel. You're judged on how you act. Good news is, no matter how you feel, you can act in accordance with who you want to be. A lot of you watching this video are going to be people who are trying to make something of themselves. Maybe you've had a past. Maybe you've displayed certain behaviors that you regret. But the truth is, you can't worry about what's happened in the past. You can only worry about what you're going to do in the future. So at the end of the day, no matter how ambitious you feel, you have to look at the day-to-day of what you actually do. Because if your behaviors don't match up with the kind of person that you want to be, then you have to take a hard look at yourself in the mirror. You really do. Because the world does not reward the person who feels like they should be successful. The world rewards the person who goes out and creates the success. And so a good activity for you to do is picture the kind of person that you want to be in 15 years from now. And every time that you're faced with a decision, ask yourself, what would this version of you do? So for me, it would be, what would 36-year-old MJ do? Well, he probably wouldn't sleep in. He probably wouldn't scroll on TikTok. He probably wouldn't blow money on dumb stuff. So when you ask yourself that question, it gives you a clear frame of what you need to do going forward. And so it doesn't matter what you've done in your past. It doesn't matter how you feel right now. It doesn't matter even the struggles that you're having in your life right now. Because at the end of the day, the best way to get rid of your struggles is to achieve all of your wildest dreams. Like real. And a lot of people aren't gonna like when I say that. But the truth is, fuck it. My greatest wish for you, the person watching this video who wants to make something of themselves, my greatest wish for you is that the universe grants you the hardest of trials, because I know that on the other side of those trials and tribulations is the version of yourself that you can't wait to be. I have a tweet that says, you need friends around you who, no matter what, they will always tell you the cold, hard truth. And I want to be that friend for you. This is why I make content. This is why I post these videos. I want to inspire you to live your best life. And I know that the greatest way to do that is to increase the likelihood that you change your behavior as a result of seeing one of my videos. And so at the end of this video, if you watch it all the way to the end and nothing changes the next day, hell, if nothing changes right now, then you wasted your time. You watched this because it made you feel good. But I'm not here to make you feel good. I want to change your behavior. At the end of the day, the only thing that will guarantee your success or failure is what you choose to do with your time. If you choose to watch videos like this and then not change as a result of them, then you are wasting your time. And quite frankly, if you do that on a consistent basis, you should be where you are right now. Real. But if you are the kind of person who will take this advice and change your life as a result of it, then you're my kind of person. You're the kind of person who has extreme amounts of potential because you're willing to learn, you're willing to try, you're willing to fail, and you're willing to learn. That is what's gonna separate you. And so at the end of the day, the only thing that I can say, if you wanna be ahead of 99% of people, you have to be willing to do what 99% of people aren't willing to do. And that, my friends, is change.